Hey yo. So I want to do a quick history video on this woman right here. Boom. Here's my rendition of her because there are actually no photos of her. There's only one illustration of her from 1836, and here it is. Now back to my drawing. Her name is, and I've been saying this for almost every single video recently, but I'm a dumb American that, despite trying my best, cannot pronounce foreign names. And there are a lot of them in this video. Her name is Shi Yang, or later and more commonly known as Zhang Yi Sao, the Pirate Queen of the North China Sea. And this video is unprecedented because for the first time in one of these cool people history videos, I don't really have a name for the series, I'm doing one on a villain. Shi Yang is not a good guy in any means, and she did some pretty evil stuff. Was she a nice woman in real life? Maybe. But we ain't here to look at all the goody two-shoes. Time to get dirty in some booty. Booty is in pirate. Shi Yang was born in the year 1775 in Xinwei, Guangdong, China. She was born into a group of people known as Tankas, or historically the Bayou. Tankas were and still are an ethnic group of people near the South China Sea who were syncized into a larger group of Chinese people, specifically the Han culture. Tankas usually lived by or on the sea on boats called junks by coastal cities and were known fishers. Not much is known of Shi Yang's early life, since it wasn't documented, just orally spread down until her life was officially documented. But if she was a Tonga, she was most likely considered an outcast or considered a sea gypsy by the larger population, meaning that coming by work was more difficult for her. So she had to take on jobs that were more, well, to keep it under YouTube's terms of service, she danced professionally with people, or she had dancers that she would tell them who to dance with, or maybe both. In 1801, when Shi Yang was 26, she met, probably through one of her dance recitals, Zhang Yi, a privateer for the Vietnamese Tay Son dynasty in the Tat Son Wars, and currently one of the most prominent pirates in the area. After they met, they got married, which now made Shi Yang Zhang Yi Sao, but for simplicity's sake, I'll keep calling her Shi Yang. And she traveled with Zhang Yi and his adopted son, Zhang Bao, who he adopted at 15 in 1798, basically making Shi Yang an instant mother. Also, not confirmed, but most likely true, and a horrible fact is, Bao and his adopted dad may have, in air quotes, dated. There is no joke. It's just history and may give some insight of what happens later and why. After a year of marriage and sailing the seas, Zhang Yi's cousin, Zhang Qi, was captured and executed by Nguyen forces in the town of Chongqing. Once the war ended, Zhang Yi took inheritance of all Qi's remaining boats, money, and personnel to add to his own crew, amassing of a gigantic private army. He sailed back to China at that time. And during this time, in 1803, Shi Yang and Zhang Yi had a son, Zhang Yingxi. Once they neared the Guangdong coast, a lot of in-house fighting started between the pirates. Shi Yang, probably having experience in the realm of managing people, if you know what I mean, was able to shape and unite all the pirates into a confederation by signing an agreement in July 1805. Basically, each pirate leader agreed to sacrifice some part of their freedom for a greater good of both and teammates. She basically created a pirate government. The pirate confederation consisted of 6 flags: red, black, blue, white, yellow, and purple. I kind of regret making these videos in black and white because these are going to be indistinguishable. Zhang Yi having the largest group being red. I'm still laughing at the last joke. Around this time, Shi Yang had a second child named Zhang Jiangxi. In 1807. Amazing that a new person could be born into the world, right? Well, on November 16, 1807, Zhang Yi somehow fell overboard and died at 42. I'm sure his death had nothing to do with how he treated other people and his children. So at 32, Shi Yang, through the back support of her nephews, took over all of Zhang Yi's possessions, including operations. Shi Yang controlled all the confederation and helped them stay balanced. She made Zhang Bao, her adopted son, leader of the Red Flag Fleet. Also, when she became the leader of the Flag Confederation, her and Zhang Bao, her adopted son, started to date vigorously, if you catch my drift. But to give her the credit, I mean, like, when she met, he was already 17 and she was 26. Now he was 23 and she was 32, so I get... There are also rumors that before Zhang Yi died, I can't defend this. Anyways, since her ex-husband was a slacker, in 1808, only a few months of running the show at 32, Shi Yang made the fleet very active. In September 1808, Zhang Bao was ordered to ambush Lin Guoliang of Humen and destroyed his fleet of 35 ships near Mazhao Island. A month later, Zhang Bao defeated Lieutenant Colonel Lin Fa near Humen town. These two attacks shaved the Chinese provincial fleet in half. The slap across the face allowed the Pirate Confederation entry into the Pearl River. The Chinese government did not like that. In March 1809, provincial leader Sun Chen-wo, with 100 ships, engaged in battle with a small group of pirates near Danshan Island. They panicked and called for Shi Yang's help. She ordered Zhang Bao to attack from the front with 10 ships. 2 of Bao's lieutenants were to flank from the sides, and Liang Bao, the White Fleet leader, was to attack Sun from the rear. And during the battle, Shi Yang attacked from everywhere, causing Sun to retreat. During that fight, however, on July 21st, Sun's troop killed Liang Bao, the White Fleet captain, and most of the White Fleet. However, in turn, Zhang Bao killed General Shu Tingwei and 25 military ships what is now Qinhuan District, Chuhai, debilitating both sides badly. I really hope I'm pronouncing these names right, or at least half decent, because I kind of went off of Google Translate, so please cut me slack. I'm not Chinese, I'm Spanish. Despite this heavy loss, Shi Yang did not give a flying duck. In August, she planned a massive raid. In September, starting with Zhang Bao, he completely destroyed a town near Huimin and killed 2,000 people. Then with Guo Podai, he went along the Pearl River for 6 weeks and raided several villages, ending in 10,000 people's deaths total. Like I said earlier, she wasn't a good guy. On September 5th, Shi Yang herself attacked an island called Timor and captured the brig of Antonio Botelho Homen, the Portuguese governor of Timor. This will be important later in a second. The Chinese government, filled with desperation, understandably so, because 12,400 people, like, damn, decided to contact the foreign barbarians, aka the Portuguese Empire, to assist in killing or arresting Shi Yang and her crew. The Portuguese, still upset she slam dunked on them by taking one of their most expensive ships, agreed because of revenge. In November, Shi Yang needed repairs to a few of her ships, so she parked near Dunjang Bay, north of Lantu Island. The Portuguese heard of this and sent ships to go obliterate her. On the 8th, when they went to leave, they were met with a Portuguese blockade consisting of 6 ships. The Inconquistable, the Indiana, the Belisario, the Consigliere, the San Miguel, and the Princess Carlota, under command of artillery Captain Jose Pinto Acurafaro Alzavero Arasuza. On the 20th, Sun showed up with 93 ships to join in the blockade to not let her free, starting the true battle. Over the course of 3 days, the pirates tried to break the blockade, but struggled because the wind was fierce. On the 3rd day, the 23rd, Shi Yang's pirates managed to get hold of one of Sun's ships and killed all 74 men on board. The total kill count is now approximately 12,474 for those of you keeping count, which made the battle go into a stalemate. Being furious, Sun took 43 of his own ships and set them on fire, and sent the fire ships across the bay to ram into and set ablaze Shi Yang's ships on the 28th. The next day, Shi Yang, with her giant balls of steel, ordered her group to catch the ships, where they then broke down the burning ships for firewood. She turned this dude's ultimate attack into a damn barbecue. By now, the wind shifted and 2 of the fire ships did a U-turn and, get this, crashed into Sun's ships, causing 2 to ignite. Using the increased wind power and to distress Sun and Jose, Shi Yang and her pirates drove past the blockade into South China Sea, getting free. Sun lost 3 ships and 74 men, while the pirates lost 40 men and no ship. Anyways, the highs were drawing to a close, and in 1810, the worst and last year for the Red Flag Fleet surfaced. Now, the historical sources are a bit unconfirmed for this next part, but the first theory is that the Chinese government was so desperate to get these pirates out of the sea that Shi Yang realized she could surrender, but in her eyes retire, without any repercussions or punishments be put upon her and her army, and live normal lives. The second theory is that in 1810, the tide of the battle shifted against Shi Yang and her crew due to rising military presences and in-house fighting. Guo Podai potentially refused to help them at Dunyang Bay during the blockade, which made Shi Yang and Bao attack him. Because of mounting pressure, Podai surrendered to the viceroy of Liangguang, Bai Ling, and he was given the rank of sub-lieutenant for this accomplishment, even though he didn't really do all the work. Now, as to which theory is true, those are the 2 likely reasons. The rest from here is confirmed history. During this time, around September 15th, 1809, Portugal and Britain fully got involved. Britain sent the Mercury, and Portugal sent Bai Ling 6 extra ships, patrolling the area where Shi Yang would frequent. Bai Ling, unlike Sun, was able to completely debilitate the pirates' supply line. All these reasons combined may have been the reason why Shi Yang and Bao agreed to surrender, as it would have led to a massacre. So when the surrender talks started, Macau's overseer, Miguel Jose de Agrega, was the mediator between Shi Yang, Bao, and Ling, where they met on Bao's ship on February 21st, 1810. It went good until Shi Yang said that they would retire if they let her and her 5,000 pirates keep 80 ships so they could become the region's salt traders and become military personnel in the anti-pirate campaign in West Guangdong. Obviously, Ling did not approve of their request. Bao, getting suspicious, saw in the distance 10 innocent British-Indian trading ships pass. Not taking chances, he took off. A few months later, Shi Yang, wanting to end all the issues before they got worse, or just wanting to retire, set up a meeting on April 17th where she took a delegation of 17 women and children to the Yamen building at Guangdong, where she negotiated with Bai Ling. Realizing this is the only and quick way to end her reign, agreed with her commands. On April 20th, 1810, Shi Yang officially surrendered to Bai Ling near Furangsha. The total surrender was holy shit. 17,318 pirates, 226 ships, 1,315 cannons, and 2,798 weapons. What? She then surrendered with her own personal 24 ships and 1,433 pirates. Bruh. Bao was given rank of lieutenant in the military and was allowed to keep his own private fleet of 20 to 30 ships. Shi Yang and Bao officially got married after this, and her 18,751 crew members were pardoned of all their crimes. That is one hell of a retirement. The rest wraps up pretty quickly. Bao rose in the ranks of the military by distinguishing himself by defeating other pirates, even their own previous Blue Flag fleet commander, Wu Shar. She had a son in 1813 named Zhang Yulin, and a daughter, although when she was born and her name are unknown. Bao ended up dying at 39 while serving as a colonel in charge of the Penghu garrison. She then moved to Guangdong to keep her life simple, as she was in charge of a casino and stayed peaceful until 1844 when she died at 68 or 69. Also, some sources said she owned an island due to her deal, and that's where she died, but I couldn't really find it anywhere, so.
It'd be cool if she had an island, but I can't really tell you if it's true or not.
Wow! This one was crazy. Even though she is not a good person by any stretch of the imagination, her life was molded by her hardships and difficult upbringing. Instead of letting that slow her down and snuff her out, she pushed and became one of the strongest and arguably most successful pirates ever, showing us that determination is important in any aspect of life. That is the story of Shi Yang, the Pirate Queen.